Okay, ladies, as promised, part two. Last time I talked about the four ways that our body burns energy, right? BMR, NEAT, TEF, and EAT. And if you missed that video, I recommend that you go back to our page and rewatch it because you're going to need to know what these are in order to understand what I'm going to talk about. Okay, today I'm going to teach you what happens to these four cups in midlife for women that causes our old diet playbook to stop working. And I'm not talking about teaching you quick fixes or band-aids, okay? Because a lot of women going through perimenopause and menopause are so frustrated that they're turning to medication as their foundation rather than using it as a bridge because they don't know where else to go. But if you don't understand how each of these cups change in midlife, you're still going to be working against your body, even with medication, rather than learning how to truly support it. This is still your biggest cup, your basal metabolic rate. Remember, 60 to 70% of your total energy expenditure comes from your BMR. This cup changes in midlife for one reason: muscle. Estrogen supports muscle recovery and how our body uses fuel. When hormones fluctuate in perimenopause and menopause, it becomes easier to lose muscle and harder to build it. So less muscle equals a smaller BMR cup. So it's not that your metabolism randomly slowed down in midlife, it's that the engine that drives it got smaller. So when women respond by eating less carbs, eating less calories, and doing a lot more cardio, this cup shrinks even more. And then remember this cup, your NEAT, your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. This is the cup that most women don't even realize is changing in midlife, okay? Perimenopause brings on a whole slew of fun things like less sleep, worse sleep, I should say, more stress, more fatigue, hormones fluctuating, right? And the nervous system responds by turning down movement. So think of your nervous system kind of like an iPhone, right? When you have too many apps open, the iPhone switches to low power mode just to keep the basics running. Your nervous system does the same thing. So you walk less, you fidget less, you sit more, you recover slower. You don't consciously choose these things. That's your nervous system conserving energy. That's your NEAT shrinking in real time. Okay, your thermic effective food, your TEF. This is the energy your body burns just by ingesting and digesting food. And in midlife, this glass gets smaller mostly because of fear, not out of laziness or lack of discipline. And what do I mean by that? Well, women in their 40s and 50s start to gain a little weight, and then they panic, and then they think, I just need to go back to what I was taught in my 20s, like skipping meals, cutting carbs, tinier portions, little snacks, saving calories wherever they can, often cutting protein. They think this used to work, so I just need to do it harder. But unfortunately, those choices in midlife is exactly what shrinks this cup. So let's think about the science of it for a minute, right? Less food equals less work. If you're skipping meals and living on snacks all day long, your body has less food to process. Digestion is work for your body. Less food equals less work, less calories being burned. Protein drops. Ladies, protein has the highest thermic effect. And when women try to save calories by eating less protein, remember your body burns the most calories to break down protein. So when you skip out on your protein, your body has less thermic effect and this cup shrinks fast. And then the other reason is convenience replaces real meals, okay? Real plates. The snack dieting, the bars, the protein shakes, and just living on snacks, that's easy digestion for your body. Okay, if you want this cup to grow and to fill fast, you need to have plates that include protein, carbs, fats, and fiber all on the same plate. That does not mean you can't have snacks and protein bars and shakes. It just means that if you want this cup to stay big, most of your plates need to be real meals that include all of the above. And then we have our EAT, scientifically called our exercise activity thermogenesis. And I want to be clear here, ladies, okay? Cardio does not build muscle. Do you remember in the beginning why I said your BMR gets smaller? Because in midlife, you lose muscle quickly. And maybe in our 20s, we could get away with lots of cardio and less calories and, using lighter weights. But in midlife, that formula does not work. That formula shrinks this cup really, really fast. Remember, strength training is what builds muscle and protects bones. It improves your insulin sensitivity. It increases your BMR. It helps support your hormones. It helps you handle carbs. Why? Because muscle is the main storage tank for glucose, okay? When you have muscle, the body knows to put the glucose in your muscle to be used as fuel rather than pushed into your fat storage. Cardio burns calories for an hour. Muscle burns calories for life. Which would you rather have? So why does strength training matter? Why do you constantly hear us saying, ladies, get in the gym and lift heavy? Because as estrogen shifts, your body becomes more catabolic, meaning it breaks down muscle tissue faster. So if all you're ever doing is chasing that sweat and that calorie burn with endless cardio and classes and not strength training, you are breaking down the very tissue that helps keep your metabolism alive. So these cups change in menopause and perimenopause, not because you're broken, not because your metabolism just slows down in midlife, but because your body is adapting, okay? Muscle shifts affect your BMR. Poor sleep and stress affect your NEAT. The way you eat affects your TEF, and the way you choose to train affects your EAT. It's not magic, it's biology. So the goal in midlife is not to fight with your body or to try to shrink yourself smaller. It's to support the systems. Keep muscles strong, feed yourself real meals, protect your sleep and movement, and train for strength. Fill the cups, don't empty them. Work with your body, not against it. Okay? And if you need real science-backed nutritional support and training, ladies in your 40s and 50s, you know where to find us. www.arforse.com. Take the guessing out of play and come work with us. Okay? That was my lesson for the day. Catch you next time.